Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a detailed video on how to make your chicken pie and also mistakes to avoid when making yours. This is half cup. I'm going to be measuring about 12 of this, which makes it 600 grams. So in this clean bowl I added 600 grams of flour. It is very important you watch this video to the end to take note of the do's and don'ts when next you're making your own chicken pie. I'm adding baking powder to this. I'm going to drop in the description button all the recipes and I use on the measurement. Setting it aside, I'm going to be whisking about four eggs in a bowl separately. I'm going to make sure that this is well whisked properly, and I'm going to set it aside and get my dry flour. Adding to this is 500 grams of cold butter. I'm giving this a mix. Then I'm going to make a hole at the center, then add my egg to it. I'm getting my hands washed because the spatula might not really work for me. It depends. Some you might decide to use a spatula, you might decide to use your hands. It's left for you. So after mixing this to a sandy texture, it wasn't doing a great job for me in the bowl, so I had to put it on a flat surface where I will be able to pet my dough. Note, it has to be in a sandy texture. Mix your butter and your flour properly to a sandy texture. So after petting this, I'm creating a hole in the middle and adding milk to it. Gradually add your milk if you feel like there is need for it. Don't forget to pet your dough. This is not a bread dough. You have to be gentle while making your fish pie, your chicken pie, your sausage roll. When you're making the dough, you have to be gentle. You pet it. This is so that your dough doesn't become stretchy like a bread dough. So I'm setting this in a bowl and I'm putting it in the fridge to allow it to rest for about an hour, and I'm going to get my fillings ready. In my non-stick pan, I'm going to be adding a bit of oil, then chopped onion. You can use white onion, you can use red onion, it depends on your choice. I'm using red onion. Then I'm going to be adding my curry, thyme to this. Giving it a good stir. I'm going to add a pinch of salt and seasoning cubes to this. Then I'm going to add my chopped carrot before the potatoes because I'm using baked potatoes, and the timing for the baked potatoes and the carrot to get done differs. But if you're using the normal Irish potatoes, you can get your potatoes in this before adding your carrot to it. Of course, I'm going to be adding a bit of pepper to this just to give it a feeling of Nigerian chicken pie, or make it spicy. It's optional though, it depends on your choice. If you like it spicy, you can add it and add more spice to this, but if you just want it mild, you can just do it your way, the way you want it. But this is it, Nigerian chicken pie. I'm going to cover this now to steam a bit. If you're using the normal pot, you can as well add water at this point to avoid it gets burning. But because I'm using a non-stick pot, I'm just going to cover it and allow it to steam a bit more. Then I had just added the baked potatoes to this. I'm going to cover it, not adding water to this. Allow it to steam so that the ingredients can get marinated into it properly. After this has been steamed for about few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to add my chopped chicken breast to this. I will leave it to cover for a few minutes just to allow everything to steam and the ingredients properly marinated together. So I'm just going to cover this to allow it to steam for 5 minutes more. Note that you can use any chicken of your choice. If you're using the normal chicken, after you've boiled it, then you can chop it and add it at whatever point you feel like. But if you're using chicken breast, you wouldn't want to cook it separately. All you need to do is your choice. You could marinate it separately, or you can add it to this filling. I'm adding a bit water to this now. At this point, I'm going to allow it to cook. On a medium heat, I'm setting this to get cooked for about 10 minutes. Then in a separate bowl, I added flour, mix it with water, and I'm adding this to it gradually because I don't want my filling to be saggy, to be watery. Gradually adding water to it so I can get the consistency that I want. You wouldn't want your filling to be watery and you wouldn't want it to be too thick. You just want something light. I'm not going to let this filling get cooked like 100% because it's still going to get cooked in the dough while in the oven. So I'm leaving it to get cooked like 95% done. At this point, my filling is ready just the way I want it. So I'm going to set it aside to allow it to cool down a bit more, then get my dough from the fridge. As you can see, the dough is ready. It's soft and fluffy. On a flat surface, I'm adding flour to it. Then putting my dough, I'm going to cut this into pieces so I can spread this the way I want it. Using my rolling pin, I'm going to spread this out to the desired volume and smoothness that I want. Remember when you're making your fish pie, chicken pie, except you're making it for commercial reasons, don't make it too light. Like don't spread your dough to be too flat. After spreading this to the desired volume that I want, I'm using a flat saucer just in case you don't have the normal meat pie cut. You can use your saucer and use a fork at the edge and sealing it up. Just let me show you this way. Then using your pizza cutter, cut it round. At this point, you can add your filling to it and use your fork if you don't have this meat pie cutter. But if you do, you can place it on the meat pie cutter, add your filling to this. Before sealing this up, I'm supposed to add a thickened paste at the edge to seal this up properly, but I didn't. After baking this, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if you don't seal your dough up properly. I'm spreading out this very flat so you can see what happens to your dough when you spread it out so flat. is how you can tell that your dough is flat. Where you can see the edges of the pizza cutter so obvious in your dough, then you can tell that your dough is very flat. This is not being sealed properly as well. I'm going to show you the outcome of this. So this is the proper way to cut your pizza dough and also sealing it. Make sure it's not too flat and it's not too thick, and sealing it up. This will help it not to open in the oven. This is properly sealed up. Kindly note that the paste in sealing up this chicken pie should not be too light, because when it's too light, it doesn't sit properly. Looking at this video, you can tell the thick dough and the thin dough. I'm showing you this video so when you're making yours, you can avoid some mistakes. Sorry I lost the video on where I washed this and also making a hole on the chicken pie, which is optional. It doesn't mean anything making a hole on it or not. I had to bake this in the oven for about an hour on a low heat because I wanted it to actually cook properly. Here's the outcome of the chicken pie that wasn't sealed properly. If you avoid sealing your chicken pie properly, it's going to open while in the oven. So try to avoid this when you're making yours. I'm going to pick one of the chicken pie and cut it into two for you to see what the filling looks like. This chicken pie came out so well. It didn't burn because I baked it on a low heat for a long time. So it cooked properly, the dough was cooked properly, the filling also was properly cooked. This video is specially made for beginners in pastry making. I'm sure from watching this video you've been able to learn one or two things when next you're making your chicken pie and also motivate you to try yours. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share my video, and also turn your notification button on so you can get to watch my video as soon as I drop them and learn one or two things from them. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.